Okay, good evening, everyone. Continuing with 3 minutes of Tehillim, we're up to Perek, Ayin Ches, Psalm 78. This is a very long Perek with 72 Pesukim, and it's basically, the theme is, it's about human beings continually being challenged, failing, and Hashem ultimately receiving their requests and forgiving us even when we fall short, even when we are inadequate. There's a passage here that tells us something very fascinating. We're used to thinking about, we talked about the Exodus from Egypt, the Jewish people being saved, and we're used to thinking that the Jewish people all came out of Egypt to eventually go to the land of Israel all at the same time. Actually, the Rashi and the Ibn Ezra quote a tradition based on a few psukim here and in Divrei Hayamim that tell us that Ephraim actually left Egypt before the rest of the Jews, and they went to the land of Israel. Unfortunately, they were met by the Plishtim, and they suffered a great loss in Gas. This psukim in Divrei Hayamim, Perek Divrei Hayamim Aleph, Perek Zion, psukim Chaf through Chaf Beis, tell us that they were Hargum Anshe Gas, that the people of Gas, they killed them, and further, V'yisabel Ephraim Avim Yamim Rabim, and Ephraim, he mourned many days for his tribe, for his children, and this is referenced in this Perek in Pasuk Tes. It says that Bnei Ephraim Noshke Rome Kashes Hafchu B'Yom Karov, that they saw the men of Ephraim, they left Egypt prematurely, armed and had skilled archers, but instead of trusting in Hashem, they trusted in their own arms. Even with all of this, what was Ephraim thinking? Or what were they doing? What was their idea? So the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he says that they had noble intentions. They wanted to end the Galus. They wanted to get back to Eretz Yisrael. What was their error? He says their error was they should have asked Moshe Rabbeinu, their leader. They should have said, is this the right thing to do? And they went out on a limb, and even though they had noble intentions, they should have asked Hashem because they didn't have his guidance, and thus they didn't have the command of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Afal Pikein, even though after all this, Hashem still forgives us. And it's a whole history of all the different things we've done. And the focal point really is Pasuk Lamed Ches, which is that he was merciful and forgave them and does not destroy them. That's the focal point of the Perek. We say many times in our tefillot, some Sukkot Zimra, and other times. If you notice, this is in the beginning of the Perek. It's in the middle point of the Perek. The Gemara in Kedushin tells us the first part was symbolic of kindness, and the last part is severity, and then right in the middle is the V'hurachum. V'hurachum, actually, if you look at it, the pasuk contains 13 words, which correspond to the 13 attributes of mercy. And something that I didn't know is that if you add all the letters together of the avos, of the patriarchs, you also have 13 different letters. So in some other machanos, 13 is considered an unlucky number, especially if it's Friday. Apparently, I don't know, but I've heard such a thing. You heard such a thing, AB? No, never heard such a thing. But in our tradition, 13 is a good number. And therefore, we put it right in the middle of this Perek, this long Perek of the failures that we've experienced, and to know that no matter how much we fail, Hashem always forgives us and always is waiting for us to return.